Hello, pre-calc students. Doing a walkthrough of quiz 2 on conic sections. This one is pretty much on ellipses. It says write the equation of ellipse centered at the origin, which is a foci at positive and negative 12, root 12, 0, and vertices at positive negative square root of 37, 0. And I'm starting to visualize the ellipse here, but if you're comfortable and understand the ellipse, you don't have to do this visualization part. You can just know that the semi-major axis is equal to root 37 and the focal length is equal to 12. So A is equal to root 37 and C is equal to the square root of 12. And we know this because when it's centered at the origin, but even when it told us that it was not centered at the origin, we know that the origin is 0, 0 because the center is going to have the coordinates of the midpoint between the two foci or the two vertices or the two co-vertices. We also know this is a horizontal ellipse because the foci and the vertices change horizontally. So this is just seeing that the foci, knowing from the foci that the coordinates of the foci are changing horizontally tells us that this is a horizontal ellipse. And the horizontal ellipse has a standard equation x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared is equal to 1. And one thing that we know is that just in general, A is bigger than B, so that's why we know that the larger denominator is over the x term. Okay, so solving for B. A is root 37, C is 12, our Pythagorean relation. Our ellipse Pythagorean relation is A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared. So we have A squared, root 37 squared is just going to be 37. So 37 is equal to B squared, and then C squared is going to be root 12 squared, just going to be 12. So subtract 12 from each side. 37 minus 12, it means 25 is equal to B squared, which means B is equal to 5. But we have H, so center of the origin, so HK is going to be 0, 0. Yes.
You have someone in the bathroom? You have a student here?
Yes.
Okay.
So HK is at 0, 0. And sorry, you got interrupted there. But HK is at 0, 0. And so we'll have, getting our standard form, we'll have x minus 0 squared over a squared, and a squared is 37, plus y minus k, k is 0 squared, over b squared is 25, and that's all equal to 1. So simplifying it, we will have, for our final answer, x squared over 37 plus y squared over 25 is equal to 1. And one more thing I want to point out is that if b is equal to 5, our co-vertices will be at 0, 5, and 0, negative 5. These are our co-vertices. So if we want to draw our ellipse, assuming this is the scale, which it isn't, then we could just draw an ellipse through our co-vertices. Okay. So let's type in our answer. X squared over 37 plus y squared over 25 is going to be equal to 1. Great. Let's clear our annotations. And let's plot the foci of the ellipse, okay? So, find the foci. First of all, we know that A is 15, B is 9, and we know this because A, for an ellipse, A is always greater than B. And because A is moving horizontally, we know this is a horizontal ellipse. All right, and the foci of the horizontal ellipse, are going to be H plus or minus C, comma, K. And here, our center, which is HK, we have a center at 0, 0. So we have a center at 0, 0. So H is 0 and K is 0. So now we just need to find C. Our Pythagorean relation is A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared. So 15 squared is equal to 9 squared plus C squared. C squared is equal to 15 squared minus 9 squared. So that should be 225 minus 81. Let's pull up the calculator. So we can, in our calculator, we can do the operation 15 squared minus 9 squared. So it'll be 144. Take the square root of 144, which hopefully you know is 12. So that means C is equal to 12. So C is equal to 12. So if C is equal to 12, our foci are at, remember H is 0, 0 plus or minus 12, comma 0. That's going to be, our foci are going to be at negative 12, 0 and 12, 0. So now that we've done the math, we got a plot. We have a foci at negative 12, 0 and 12, 0. All right, let's check. Great, we got it right. Clearing annotations. An ellipse is graphed below. We need to find the center, the semi-minor axis, and the semi-major axis. So we need to find the center, so the center, which is going to be HK, semi-minor axis, semi-minor axis, which is going to be equal to B, and the semi-major axis, which is going to be equal to A. All right? So let's just visualize things here for a little bit. I can visually see that the center is right here. And I see that because we are right in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 in the middle right here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're in this. So we are in the very middle, right here. This is a vertical ellipse. All right. So that means the A term is a semi-major axis. So this value right here, this line, that's going to be equal to A, which is the semi-major axis. So A is going to be equal to 4. That's the semi-major axis. B is going to be equal to 2. So B is equal to 2. That's the semi-minor axis. And our center is going to be at -1, +5. So our center is going to be at -1, +5. All right. From this information, we have a center at -1, +5. We have a semi-minor axis of 2. We have a semi-major axis of 4. Let's check our answer. Great. Clearing annotations. Which ellipse is represented by the equation x squared over 81 plus y minus 6 squared over 9 is equal to 1? So here we have the larger term. So let's get all information out. It's a horizontal ellipse. Larger denominator is under the x term. So we have a horizontal ellipse. All right, our center is going to be at 0, 6. So no change in the horizontal part of the center. Switch the sign for vertical. So center is at 0, 6. Our A term, so A, which is the semi-major axis, that's going to be equal to the square root of 81. So that's going to be equal to square root of 81, which is equal to 9. So A equals 9. And B, the semi-minor axis, is equal to the square root of 9, which is equal to 3. So B is equal to 3. So we have a horizontal ellipse, a center at 0, 6, a semi-major axis with a length of 9, and a semi-minor axis with a length of 3. So center at 0, 6. This is a center at 0, 6. Are there any other centers at 0, 6? No, they're not. So right away, it's going to be answer choice A. This is going to have a length of 9, length of 3. Clearing annotations. The equation of an ellipse is given below. What is its center? What is its major radius? What is its minor radius? So here, the center is going to be +5, -8. You change the signs for the 5 and the 8. What is the major radius, or the semi-major axis? Okay, Here, the larger denominator is 81. So you find the square root of 81, that's going to be 9. Square root of 25 is the minor rate, so that's going to be 5. And that's all she wrote. The equation of an ellipse is given below. We need to find the foci of the ellipse. So let's first find the center. The center is going to be positive 12, positive 3. Now this is the denominator is larger over the x term, so that means that this is a horizontal ellipse. So we have a horizontal ellipse, and the foci of a horizontal ellipse are going to be h plus c, comma, k. That's h plus or minus c, comma, k. So now we just need to find c. 289 equals a squared. 64 equals b squared. So a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared. So 289 is equal to 64 plus c squared. Um, 289 minus 64 is equal to 225. Square root of 225 should be equal to 15. So, knowing that, c squared equals 225, c is equal to 15. So, when a horizontal ellipse foci is h plus or minus ck, so our foci are going to be 12 plus or minus 15, comma 3. So 12 plus 15, that's going to be 27, 3. And 12 minus 3, or 12 minus 15 is going to be negative 3, then the y value stays 3. So we need to find a value that is, answer says 27, 3, and negative 3, 3. Oh, right here, C. 27, 3, and negative 3, 3. So we found our foci. All right, that is quiz 2.